Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Well, we're 15 hours in, and there were eyewitnesses here who certainly saw the child taken under the water and what have you. We know that that happened, and it certainly is not survivable at this point for him to have been submerged for this period of time. So we know that this is a recovery effort at this point. As we have been dealing with this tragedy for the last few hours, I will tell you that it is somewhat of a complicated operation that we have going, because this is a man-made body of water. It is a sizable body of water, and it has certain systems built in the waterway. My divers have been in the water today, and at an appropriate time they may be back in the water. We have our marine units out on the lake. They're using sonar equipment to see if they can locate the body as well. What I can tell you is that Disney has operated here now for 45 years, and they've never had this type of thing happen before. Remember, it is Florida, and alligators are indigenous to this region of the country. But I want to reiterate that Disney has a wildlife management system that is in place, and they have worked diligently to ensure that their guests are not unduly exposed to the wildlife here in this area. Well, I can tell you that this is certainly very concerning to Disney. You all are very aware that Disney made a decision to close their other beach type properties, and I believe that that's 9 different properties in terms of the beach at the different resort areas. And that was done with an abundance of caution to ensure that we can continue our operation without the interference of other watercraft that may be out on the waterways, and also to make certain that other guests are not unduly exposed to something.
Disney has been very proactive with regard to dealing with alligators, and having, as the sheriff said, full-time staff observing these waters. They have essentially an open system permit where anytime they see an alligator or a complaint is called in, that it can be taken out. And these alligators are not relocated. These alligators have to be euthanized, because when they become a problem, that if you move them somewhere, you're just moving a problem. So Disney does everything by the book, and they have an amazing program for keeping track of and monitoring and then addressing any concerns that arise. The question about, as you interact with alligators, if they're fed, what does that mean? It really means that the alligators can lose their fear of people, and that's against the law in Florida. And we have a lot of information. If you go to myfwc.com, we have information about alligators and how to be safe around alligators. The story here is this is a tragedy, and it's terrible, but it's a rare occurrence. And fortunately, it doesn't happen that often, and we are doing everything we can to make sure it doesn't ever happen again.